The Sly Guy podcast is on Patreon, which means for as little as £2 a month, you can support this podcast to grow, to improve, to get better guests, and to get more content for you. And in return, that's what I offer you. Extra content, early access to the main podcast, question asking privileges only exclusively at Patreon. As well as that, you get the weekly Dog Walks with Davey podcast and the extra Sly Guy podcast, as well as much more. You got vlogs over there. You got specials, you got sketches, you've more to come, more to see at the Sly Guy Podcast Patreon. So follow the link in the description and support us now. Thank you. We are brought to you in association with Visual Antics Apparel, and we have some news this week, guys. Wow. You know the merch, it's there, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's decadent. But as well as having baseball caps, hoodies, t-shirts, short sleeve and long, we also now have a new range of what I think's my personal favourite item that Visual Antics have for this podcast. We have the exclusive Sly Guy podcast mugs. Look at that. Unbelievable. Beautiful, exclusive Sly Guy podcast mug. We have the logo of the pod, the traditional, the Sly Fox, the Sly Guy podcast. And as well as that, we have the peace sign mug. The Sly Guy podcast peace sign. It's an unbelievable bit of design. Check that out. And as well as that, listen, you know what, it's the Sly Guy podcast, but really I'm a sound guy, so I mean, it is what it is. Peace. I'm Sly, but I'm also a real nice guy. I'll look after you, so it is what it is. And if you want to be real nice guys too, head yourselves over to Visual Antics Apparel, follow the link in the description of the podcast, and get yourself some Sly Guy podcast merch right now. And if you don't want to pay full price, don't worry, I've got a discount for you, 10% off with the discount code SLYGUY10 at checkout. That's SLYGUY10 at checkout for 10% off the merch today. This podcast would not be possible without the support of Modest Beer. Modest Beer are Modest Beers and they're Modest benefactors. We appreciate them and they appreciate you. If you want to check them out, hit their website up, modestbeer.co.uk, to see everything up to date with Modest Beer. Sign up to their brews letter and get that email into your inbox monthly. And if you want to buy some beers or you want to buy some merch, check the website, use the discount code SLYPA15 at checkout, let them know Davey sent you, and get Modest now.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast. What a few weeks it has been. For any of you guys checking in for a while, you're probably looking at me going to yourself, hold on a wee second. Why's Davey look sharp again? I've got the haircut, my beard is trimmed, I'm feeling myself again, I'm back being bald. Being bald is when I'm happy. I'm feeling fresh, I'm looking how I look. I can't say I look fresh, I just look how I look. This is my look and I have to just accept that that's what it is now. But anyway, I'm feeling good in myself. Alright guys, I'm glad to be bald and I'm feeling even better after this week's episode of the podcast, which with one of my favourite guests, one of my favourite guys, my fellow comedian, and I want to say also too, serious actor. The man, the myth, the legend, the Micky Bartlett, Mr. Micky Bartlett, Michael Bartlett, who, by the way, just pointing out here, parked absolutely atrociously in the car park of the studio today. So much so he is parked in such a way that he is denying two other cars the option to park in this car park, and I think that's a sin. So let that settle with yourselves. That yes, it's great to have him here, it's great to chat with him, but also sort your life out, Micky, and learn to park. All right. But anyway, it's been good. It's been a fun few weeks. The sun has been shining in the sky and we're feeling good. We're a bit tanned. It's lovely. Hope everyone's feeling positive out there in the world as well. And if you are feeling positive, and I can just ask you to do one thing aside from everything else I've already asked you to do, I would say subscribe to the podcast wherever you get it. We're doing well at the minute. I want to keep growing. So if you listen on Spotify, subscribe. YouTube, subscribe. Apple, subscribe. Wherever you get it, subscribe. And I appreciate it. Enough of me. Let's get into this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast with me and the world's worst parker, Micky Bartlett. Well, Mick, welcome. We're just having a chat here about
drugs.
Just drugs, just straight on the old on the Manjaro and whatever. But yeah, apparently it hits as well as like stopping you being hungry. Other dopamine
impulse
receptors,
shit,
impulse stuff. Yeah, so you're like we're saying, like I was looking at online Just Eat and there was nothing I fancied. I was like, nah. And for me, it kills my like desire to have bread and like and like pasta and all. So if I was hungry, I'd be like, and then if I eat it, I'm like, you feel like it's just sitting.
Right. You've lost a fair amount of weight too, haven't you?
But well, yeah, I'm doing all right. Sticking at it, but which is half the battle, because I've lost this amount of weight before, and then I've gone class, and then just gone straight back, and that was what the big thing was with running the leg of the marathon this year. Because it was like the goal, the thing. I was like, I just have to run this leg of this marathon. I just have to do that. As soon as I was done, my legs were fucked last year.
Aye.
And then I was like, right, that's it. I've done it. So rather than go, that's the start of something, I was just whoosh, off the cliff.
Aye.
You know, ice creams, beers, just the works. And then I was like, I've nothing else. And there was no discipline at all. And then that was the start of just. And about 3 or 4 months, I just did nothing, no gym, anything, and just.
I've had a point where like, I've been still working out quite a bit, but I've put weight on because I've been drinking a wee bit more and like just eating shite and like a lot of like when you're gigging and podcasting, sometimes your diet's just shit you can get out of a garage.
Yeah.
So I ended up like putting weight on even though I was exercising like fuck, and I'm finding that just like this is way harder now with an extra half a stone doing the same thing I was doing 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it's like fucking hell. Because that's getting old class. Like
it's amazing because that was the big turning point for me was whenever we went to Krakow, and I couldn't get up. No, I went to Krakow and just I was feeling like I had sciatica. I was like, and everything was getting right up my back and my leg and all, and it was just on the. And then I was like, I was actually going around calling it sciatica. I thought I was a genius, like because I was on the plane. And then Catherine was like, maybe you're just too heavy, and I was like, well, maybe you've just cut me to the core. Right?
Man.
But it's true.
So I went and got a full health M.O.T. Shout out to Lockview Health in Lurgan, by the way. He went for free if I say shout out to Lockview Health every so often.
So if I go shout out to Lockview, they'll...
Man, he's actually, true story, he's messaged me being like, ask any of the comedians that don't come down for health checkups, because he's a comedy fan and also he's trying to start his own, he's trying to get his surgery out and about.
Does he do bloods and all?
Blood, so I did full bloods, full piss test. Liver, perfect.
Did you do the cum as well?
No, I didn't do the cum.
Did he ask you to, or did you just...
No, I was empty. He said my pancreas is perfect, my kidneys are perfect, my prostate's delicious. But it was one point because he's good crack as well as doctor. At one point he goes, yeah, your hunger hormone. He goes, you have very low levels of hunger hormone. He was like and he used the example. He goes like Harvey Price, for example, would be somebody who has high levels of it, so he can't stop eating. Okay. And I was like, well, what's all this about? And he went, you're a fat cunt. I was like, you're my new doctor. You're officially my new GP. But that was interesting to do as well, like to find out just shit at this age. Yeah. Well, the thing, so I was like full bill of health, better than I expected kind of thing. And then he was like, your testosterone's a bit low though. He was like, that's partly your age. It's partly like fucking just because you've been working out a wee bit. It could be that. But he goes, it might be time to think about or start thinking about like supplementing your testosterone. And straight away I was just like, I'm not a man anymore, am I?
Alright, I knew you were going to be like, what? So you're telling me I'm getting tested?
Yeah, but he was like, you'll put your missus through a wall. I was all, I did that last night.
I don't know how I feel about having to be injected into, like, it would be weird, like being more like, whoa, than you already are. It'd be wild.
I know, that's one of them things, but then like, maybe I'll stop crying at movies.
Yeah.
Be a man again.
Yeah, no, but it's that point now where you have to have the conversation. You have to like look at yourself and go, right,
how are we going to fucking live longer?
Because like, what always happens to me, I go, right, I have a problem, and every time I go to the doctor's like, too fat. And I'm like, must be something else.
Yeah,
you know?
I used to get that when I was smoking.
Yeah.
That's because you smoke figs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
could you lose a bit of weight though? I might go in and be like, listen, I fell, hurt my arm. You know?
Aye.
Like, nah, I just think you should just...
Is the ground okay, Tubbs?
But then I remember, like, I was in with it was the asthma nurse, and it was the whole, like, she was telling me basically due to BMI and all, she was like, listen, you, for your height and all, you should be 11 stone. And I was like, unless you remove my head and my torso and unless you leave a leg, I'll never be 11 stone. And then she made me do the blowing into the thing, and I was like, yeah, maybe actually your lung capacity is quite big, maybe you should be a bit heavier. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I think if I was like emaciated, I'd be about 16 stone. You know, if I was like, completely like...
I'm the same, because I reckon I should be about... 9 stone is probably the ideal weight for me, and I'm 16 at the minute, maybe 16 a bit, to be honest with you. And I'm like, I don't think I've been... I was 10 stone when I was 10. Yeah. Like, I remember being like, weighing myself and going, you shouldn't be the same weight as your age.
Well, that's what I do. I do that. That's fine.
Yeah, as long as you're...
Yeah, as long
every
as
year you get fitter.
Like, you have to hit a point where maybe you're like, you hit 26 and go, maybe you need to Benjamin Button this of it. But no, I'm 38 now. I'm 38 stone, so don't That was actually something my mum said to me. It was like, I was talking about my weight, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm into like a big enough number, and she goes in 30s. I was like, fuck off, not the fucking 30s. Stag, what do you think? I know I'm fat. And then like when my mum starts, she just carries on. She goes, because I mean, don't take us the wrong way, but you are the fattest person I've ever seen with my eyes. I'm going to her, but I've been to Florida with you. I know you're talking shit. You know?
But is it weird how too though? Like, I always like 18. Anything above 18 stone looks the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's been why I've got this.
Like somebody can go up 24 stone, and this guy beside him could go, I'm 19 stone. You go, you look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, so once I'm of the opinion, once I hit 18 stone, that's when I go for it.
Yes.
And
and
like,
then go above.
We're going as high as we can go.
Yeah. Reach for the stars, mate.
Yeah.
Let's just go for it.
Reach for the bars.
Yeah.
Like magic stars. Should have said that.
But then that was fucking excellent. But then what happens? You get to that point, and then everything's just a problem. You know, everything's like, and then people are like, what about your cholesterol, your blood pressure? I'm like, and then they're like, this is the thing I always get hit with now, but don't you want to be around for your girls? I'm like, fuck off.
See,
that's bullshit for me. Of course I do.
Because I don't have kids, I'm sort of in the mindset now where I go, right, if this relationship doesn't work out, what I'm going to do is just fucking sack the whole thing off and be just a fat mess.
But then,
and then die young so I'm not alone.
That's a
Do you know
life hack there, yeah. See if you're lonely, just...
As my good doctor at Lockview Health said to me, he goes, I was talking about like, I was like, yeah, I probably still drink a wee bit too much. I don't drink as much as I used to. I exercise quite a bit. Sorry?
You don't drink as much as you stay free.
But he goes, here's the way I look at it. He was like, would you rather live to 100 and be fucked for 30 years or shoot the lights out at 70? And I was all, fucking, you're right, mate. Let's do a couple of lines, bro.
Yeah, but there is a point, like, where my Cameron's granddad's in the home, and like every time I go to see him, he's just like, I hate it. I'm here and I can't do anything. And it is a bit wick, you know, like if you're just there, like he can't walk anymore and he just is miserable.
Aye.
There must come a point, like I think you should just be allowed to be like, fucking, I'm waiting a blaze of glory here.
I would definitely, I would be like, get me some heroin. Get me enough for one wee high, and then an extra batch that'll just put me to sleep forever.
Yeah. I mean, you
get to know what that's like before you go.
You're buzzing, and then if you're that buzzing and you die, you're buzzing all the way to wherever in the afterlife. It's class.
Yeah, just turn up to fucking heaven like, all right, bro.
Yeah, suck your dick, Jesus.
You sent Peter, bro.
You sent Peter, turn around there, bro.
I'll paint your gate and all you fucking hook me up, man.
But then I don't know. It's too above our pay grade.
I'd also like to be the other type of old person like Arnie or Sylvester Stallone, where you're like, what magic are they doing?
Yeah,
that's having them jacked as fuck in their 70s.
HGH probably test all those.
It's probably one of them things like.
But human growth hormone is the best.
Stem cells and all that shit. That's
like those. I think that's probably what they're on. But like you look at Arnie, he probably hates himself now because he's like an old man's body, saggy. Whereas Sylvester Stallone.
No, Arnie's back in shape.
Is he?
Arnie's back in shape big time. Look out.
Crazy.
Yeah. My hip is hurting.
Yeah. But then every time he pumps up, he just
get someone else pregnant.
But but that's another thing. I felt awful bad about him doing that, you know.
But cheating on the wife?
Yes, they seeing the way he made. That was mainly why, because I saw him made. I was like, oh, Arnold, what are you
doing? I know what you had.
Like. Jesus.
But then his son is.
Oh, like, yeah, he's massive.
Yeah.
Joseph Bayana. That must be hard for him to say. What's your name? Joseph Bayana.
Kennedy. Sanchez.
Oh, speaking of weird names, actually, did you ever watch that show on. It's on iPlayer at the minute. This City Is Ours. It's a new like crime drama based in Liverpool.
Right.
It was good. We just finished there. But the main guy, and they call him Michael Kavanagh. Like and it's Kavanagh.
Drinks are free.
You know? Yeah. I'm a Kavanagh's drink. But yeah, I was doing my head and I was like, he's fucking clearly called Kavanagh.
Aye.
What are you doing? Call him Kavanagh? You know? That just wound me up. But anyway, side note. Just buying it. But yeah, human growth hormone. Apparently, it's again similar name, Rich Piana. Have you heard of him before? He's
no.
He's a YouTube bodybuilder. Well, he was. RIP. But he took way too much HGH and his whole body. But then he's like, yeah, but he was always very honest with what he did. So he's like, yeah, I'm on everything, on the works, like. But he would say, like, yeah, your muscles get bigger, but with HGH, so is your head, your hands, and all your internal organs, and all. So he's like, it's not sweet.
Oh, I think I know the guy you're talking about.
And he's too big, like,
he's massive.
And he just burst.
Because who's that younger guy? He's big on TikTok and shit. That a lot of people are like, we're worried about him.
Sam Sulek, is
it?
Yeah.
Because his back knee is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
but then he's gone apparently to do, like, he's a pro bodybuilder now. He's gone and done his proper, like, is like
I'm dying to watch that Liver
cardinal.
King documentary. Because
Yeah.
how anybody fell for that.
Yeah,
With the big roidy veins sticking out of him and stuff, you're like,
but you know what? He did it during COVID, and everyone was mental. So
Aye,
they're like, you know
true.
what? Maybe this is what's wrong. We live in a world where fucking the virus is everywhere. And
Aye. Just
I
take
go,
raw
so what do you
liver,
do? Just
like-
from what is it? Tail to snout. Go for
aye.
it.
Because there's another, what do you call the other guy who's like, is it Eddie Ebdo or something? Have you ever seen any of his stuff? So he's a guy who's like telling people like don't eat any processed food. So every TikTok's like first meal of the day. So he's talking about intermittent fasting, but he doesn't eat from like 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But he'll have like 12 fucking eggs and a steak. And in every video you see him stick his fork in the food and then not eat it. Right? So everyone's like,
Yeah.
that make no sense. And I was talking to a personal trainer the other week, and he was like, the thing with that guy is he was roided up his entire life, was jacked his entire life, and now he's like, look at the shape I'm in. You're going, no, you use steroids to get there, and now
Yeah.
you're pretending that all this shit works
Yeah.
to get people to give you fucking money.
But see, that's to me the biggest thing. Like for years, I'd be watching and seeing these guys and going, oh, "Fuck, this is the way to do it." But then you're watching it as a normal dude who's got a normal life. You're watching these like super athletes and like bodybuilders and all.
Aye.
I need to eat. It's not sustainable. You just need to eat a bit less.
100%,
You know,
yeah.
and that's kind of the.
And there's nobody, you can't, like, unless you are full-time exercising, there's no fucking way you can fit in that amount of workouts and that amount. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you see guys that are, and maybe there's genetics, you see people who are like, I do 45 minutes a day, and you go, no, you fucking don't. Look at
Yeah.
the shape you in.
Yeah.
Like, might not count the 3 runs and 4 swims as a workout.
Yeah.
You count the wee weight session. But, like, I remember talking to Sean McComb once. I was like, how much training do you do? And Sean was like, run in the morning, and then I'll box, and then I'll do weights. And I was like, I'm one exercise away from doing a professional boxer's training regime, and I'm a fat bastard.
Yeah. But I mean, it's everywhere. Like, and again, people are probably listening to me, but now going like, "Oh, fuck, you're a fucking one to talk now," because of But I struggled so much with the food addiction side of it. Like
Aye.
this fucking, I don't know, the feeling like it was weird. Like I couldn't not eat. All I was thinking about was eating.
Yeah.
And that was something I thought about today. Was like I'd have gone and probably eaten a lot of McDonald's breakfasts
Aye.
of a week, and I'd have gone. Like say going to gigs. You'd almost use that as an excuse. I'll just pick something up on the way, and then you're too lazy, so you end up doing a drive-through.
Aye.
You end up buying shite, and I couldn't have stopped.
That's definitely a problem. I did it last night. I had made like a wee sort of half healthy taco bowl. Just had like minced peppers and rice, and I was like, that's loads. And it must be a dopamine thing or something, or we've got ADHD, because it's like, for whatever reason, if I'm emceeing Lavery's, by the time the show's finished, I'm like, I'm fucking starving. Because you must use some sort of adrenaline or whatever when you're on stage. So I ended up getting McDonald's with Geddes and McCartney last night, and then woke up this morning shitting sewage,
Yeah,
and like trying to empty my stomach before I went boxing because I don't want to shit myself in a boxing ring. And again, you're going, this happens.
yeah.
Like you've done. It's not like you've gone, oh, I'm surprised that McDonald's made me feel weird this morning.
Yeah.
Because you've done it 30 fucking times.
But you can't, it's like I remember listening to a thing. I think it was Ethan Suplee was talking about it, and he was like, I have this thing where like almost. I like 1 minute I think I want to get a takeaway, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, I've come to again. I'm in the car park of a McDonald's and I've eaten it all, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Aye.
Before you know it, you've done it.
And see if you put Chinese food in front of me, like
Yeah.
There's times where I've got stoned so I can eat a full Chinese.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally going, I'm going to get high just so I can do this without fucking panicking about it. And there's times where I'm like, I'm not even stoned, and if I have a full plate, like a plate of Chinese food mound like that, rattle the whole thing, and I'm on the couch like seconds.
Yeah.
Because if it's sitting there, I have to either like eat enough to fill me and then fuck it all in the bin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be up all night just fucking.
I was exactly the same, and like there'd be sometimes this is where I was like, maybe it's a problem, is I'd be lying in bed sleeping, and then I'd burp and then like almost be sick. I'd be like, fuck, I've eaten too much, and I'm literally gonna. And then I went, if I do it in my sleep, I'll die. And more than anything else, I'd be like, I'd be scundered to die like that.
I know.
You know, you'd be like, what a big fat bastard. He just choked his own bug
Aye.
back
It's when the
because he had too
fucking
much pasta.
it's when the coroner finds you trying to eat it again.
Yeah.
Didn't chew up it enough. No.
But that's the thing now. Like I don't think. But again, we're brought up in a different time. I guess this is what I always say. Like one of the earliest things were, if you want to leave that table and go and play, you need to eat all your dinner.
Aye.
And the children in Africa, you know.
Aye.
And it's like all this.
Because our parents probably had big families
Yeah.
and not enough food, which is why they'll outlive us.
Yeah.
Because they had the first fucking 40 years of life dead skinny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then and then we're like, eat that. You're like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then because we talk about it in our house all the time, there hit a point where like the food industry did lie to people and was like, fucking, it's 100% chicken breast.
Yeah.
And chicken dippers, it's not pink mulched up shit. And because your parents were both working, they were like, I need to get you to eat something. So if the only thing you're going to fucking eat is fish fingers and chicken dippers, that's what we're having every night. And then you've had the first 18 years of your life being like, I haven't had a vitamin.
Yeah. Like, you look at, like, I remember, I just brought up beige. You know what I mean? And the same thing. Because, like, I
remember baked beans being too colourful for me. Like, ugh.
Like, and wee smiley faces and all like that. And, like, my dad used to make a thing, which, like, I remember, I was like, recently, I was like, fuck, I love some of that. They still do it. It was basically, like, he just cooked the pasta, and then he fucked the tin of it was, like, just mushed up chicken in some sort of cream sauce, and just plain that in, bit of salt, bingo. And
mate, we used to eat chicken curry out of a tin from Iceland, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I was when my dad was cooking chicken curry night, and we'd be looking forward to it. Fucking chicken curry and like 4 bits of white bread with butter on it.
Yeah. And then with the bread I went through as a kid too. Jesus Christ.
But there's something, it's a fucking Northern Irish working class diet of like, you're going to be out, you're basically eating like a fucking welder or a riveter, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like even, do you know, like in there's loads of cultures that, like, the reason they had pies or like burritos and shit like that is to go, that's all the food you're getting today. So you're taking it to work with you, and it's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's wrapped up. So you can have a couple of bites, fucking close the tortilla back up, and eat the rest of it,
and then get back on the drive on lawnmower.
Aye, yeah, yeah. You can put your need work sign back. But that's people that are out working, and like we eat like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, after having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we've done nothing. Like
that's like, if you go even further back to say, like, you had to eat to survive, to hold the fat, to be able to, like, fucking survive living in caves. And now we're just like Henry. I think he fucked it for us all, because he's like, I'm just going to eat myself to not being able to move. Yeah. And like, we're just big, lazy, big, greedy bastards.
It's fucking mad. Like, and I wish I had the genetics of like I know I'll never have a six pack. And probably would never have been able to have a six pack.
Yeah.
But I wish I had the genetics where it's like, you could probably be in really good shape.
Yeah.
But I've always been a wee lump.
But like, then no one tells you that either. Everyone's like, you can get a six pack, and be like, no, not possible.
Yeah.
Not possible for me.
Hello, Ethan Soup, please, a six pack. If you pull the bed sheet back off.
That's the worst thing as well. It's like fuck, I don't want to end up. So in my mind, I'm like, I need to keep whatever's under it, so as I don't have like loads of hangy. Just gonna hate that. But then
so again, you working out as well, then, are you?
Yeah. I'm doing the whole full works, you know, because again, I think even if it was a placebo, I think if you're paying the money for it, a bit of me, even if it was like, if I had supplements, I would be like, oh, I've paid X amount for this protein, I've taken this, I may go to the gym, or it's wasting my money. And the same as this, like, because the injections were a very last resort for me, like I sort of said at the end of the year, I'm going to try to do it without anything, and if I can't do it, I'm going to give it a go. And like, and again, I've tried everything else. What's the worst that can happen? And I was like, but with that, it's like they said, you get side effects if you don't do it right. Like, it's like anything, you know, if you're still eating all the shite, it's just going to reject it. You know, like, you know that drug you get if you're like, you're
trying to quit smoking or something,
alcohol and stuff. You're like, it'll make you broke. It's like that. And then I was like, you know what? To keep it like the body will eat the muscle and stuff, because so you have to keep eating the protein. You have to do that. You have to take the protein shake. So I've been doing that. I've been started off was doing the marathon training, and then now I'm just back training in the gym again. I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? And I think like I'm out walking the dog first thing in the morning, and I think it's a good start to the day. And like I do feel better. I'm sleeping more. I'm not just sore. I'm doing less of, you know, like, why are you doing that? Just because I got up off a seat. You know?
That's my, like, my cutoff is, I've been at 15.5 stone for about a year and a half, and 16 stone is whenever I get the...
Yeah.
Like, what have you been doing? Just sitting here?
Yeah. Like, it used to be even coming here. Why are you out of breath? I'm like, well, there was my 10th Thursday.
Aye. Then do you get those times? Do you ever get those wee moments you're walking about and you think, fuck, have I breathed yet? And then you go, I don't know how to breathe.
Yeah. But then sometimes you do that too, where you stop breathing, because you're like, maybe if I don't breathe going up the stairs, and then you're even more puffed. You know. So.
That's the guy I like box with in the mornings. He's always like, just when you're finish a round, he goes, right, take a big deep breath in, hold it in, and then like that'll start to regulate your breathing, and it's the most painful thing, because you're like. I'm gonna faint. Yeah. Oh my.
But then another thing you find as you get old, you're more likely. You feel like you're gonna faint easier.
Aye, man. Yeah. See, this is one thing I'll say about that fucking health M.O.T. is the shit that guy is put in my head, right?
Uh-huh.
So in terms of testosterone, when I'm like giving up earlier at boxing because I'm like, it's because I've no testosterone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you have high allergy markers, so you'll probably develop asthma in later life. And the minute he told me, I was like,
Yeah.
achoo! Hard work, ew.
But it is so true. And like the worst, like I think like I was spinning Holly around on the beach a couple of weeks back, just spinning around. I did a couple of rotations, set her down, and just stumbled to death in the sea. I'm like, fuck me. Like I knew we sit down here, and that's the most I've ever felt like an old woman. Just like I needed someone to hold me, just sit me down, because I'd spun around a few times. Like fuck me. And then when I did edibles, fucking hell, I just felt like I was dizzy for weeks. I was like, oh my god, what's wrong? Have I? And I started panicking, getting anxiety, because I thought, have I fucked the setting in my brain now? Like, I'm just always dizzy. I went and put a wash and I stood up like fucking Deirdre from straight into the butt.
There's, you know, times if you're like lying on a bed or a couch, you have to do 2 rocks to actually get like to get the momentum. Wait a second, you go, you fucker. Like,
yeah.
If anybody broke into my bedroom in the middle of the night, I'm like, you're gonna have to fight him because
And I find myself the most, like I say, and I don't say with any thought to it, but it's probably one of the things I say most in a day is, "Oh, boys are there," you know. I'm just moving.
But that's also just part of getting older too. When you don't know what else to say, you need to make a noise.
Yeah. Well,
Jesus.
Because I started.
Do you know what I mean? I did something. We went for some date, and I did something that I hate, but I just did it to fill a noise. Willie said something, and I just said the last thing he said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was like, TikTok algorithm. I'm like, TikTok algorithm. Fuck me, you're boring.
But do you find you pick up things and then you do it without realising, like subconsciously, where you might be? So when we were in Krakow, obviously we're staying in the Jewish quarter. Went to Auschwitz, we did the full experience. But I found myself getting up, like I'd say, going, Oishkaba! You know, and Catherine was like, are you making Jewish noises?
Trying to blend in.
I was like,
fair enough, your beard, all you need is the hat, and they'd fucking think you're acidic.
Man, I could be anything. You know, I see from you leave Russia until I could be anything. You know, if you just like, I could be with a tan, I'm Turkish.
Yeah.
When pale, I'm just anything.
Right, and if you fire a kilt on you and you're a Highlander, like,
yeah, I'm multi. I just could be any stick a week, and you know, I'm Jewish. Like I took a photo the other day, sent to Catherine, and she didn't get it because she didn't know who the dude was. But it's in the Nottingham Forest owner. Don't know if you saw this. He came down on the pitch and started fighting with their manager. And he was losing the head because they didn't win a game, and he was like, and I said to Catherine, this just looks like past me arguing with future me. Like it just could be any of those, but like it was just it's a weird thing, and I think like I do that, and like wherever we go, like if you go somewhere, I find myself copying accents and all without even meaning to. You know, you go away somewhere and you're like, yeah, me some fucking I've been to fucking Liverpool for the day and all, and they're like, that's rude what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't realise I'm doing it. You know.
But you do have, well, it's different for you though, because you don't have as strong a Northern Irish accent as like I have.
Yeah.
Like I would be talking like you if I'm in any other country.
Yeah.
Because nobody is when I'm full like well, I get well.
Yeah.
So
I get you. Yeah.
Like I've done a couple of spots that I've put online where I'm in Australia, and the first comment's like, "It's fucking, why are you talking like that?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because nobody in Australia understands well mucker. Like,
yeah. Well, get
ass shitty, you cunt, you
But no, yeah, like that, and then that's what someone's saying about like Graham McDowell and Rory McIlroy and stuff.
Yeah.
Because if he goes out there and he fucking does, he needs to sort of go with that sort of, so people now he should revert back when he's here, so people don't think he's bollocks.
Aye.
But
have you ever heard Liam Neeson doing the Ballymena accent?
No.
Where he's like, I think it's on Conan, and he's like, "This is not how I talk. If I spoke like where I'm from, I'd be going, well, Sham, keep him well." And you're like, fuck. Thank God I've seen through it.
Yeah.
It's a great Paddy McDonald joke.
It's a classic. But no, Neeson, like I love that voice. I mean, if you had a voice to put on, like you're a man of the world, an actor now,
yes,
as well. And when you get tapes through
for a BAFTA award-winning show,
listen, yeah. Well, actually, no, you haven't won a BAFTA because it's a new series. I'm a BAFTA champion, alright. So don't worry about it. Because I mean, it's just coincidence on that.
Yeah,
that
you're BAFTA kids.
Yeah, but listen, you know.
Yeah, that was funny.
Did season 1 win a BAFTA? No. Get the secret sauce on board for
right
season
enough.
2.
Yeah.
Oh. But and season 3 it's an Oscar, and it's not even eligible. But when they see your performance, but when you get an audition through, do you ever see like the accents and just go, I can't do that? And it's a
there was one me and you both went for. We were talking like and it was for like a horror movie or something. And I remember reading it and going, I can't even get that right in my head. Like, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. But it was an American accent, or was
it was. Yeah.
I was like, I can't do American anymore. And then they're like, there's one I got Belfast accent, and I was like, I can't even do Belfast. It sounds put on when I do.
There's
Belfast
some of the things you get through though, you just go, who wrote that? Like,
yeah. There was one now. It was for a television show based here, and I remember reading the script, going, no one speaks like that. You know, it's like I can't phonetically say those words because I don't think a normal person speaks like that.
Can you say what show it was?
Hope Street.
Ah, right.
But I just was like, I don't think.
Is that another cop show?
Yes, but again, I just like I don't think that's how. And like my head, I couldn't compute those words because like I can't say that.
There's bound to be a lot of those that are written by English people, but it's like cheaper to make it here, so they've gone write something, but make it there just so we can fucking.
Yeah, but like, I that has to be it too. And like, there's so many things now. Like Malpractice season 2, it's available on ITVX. I was in it, and it's a bit Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So like, I had to do that voice and all this fucking practice, and I just was like, I'm going to just do bastard, Sean Bean, bastard, fucking no bastard, and then come back a bit from doing, and then had to sort of keep that accent a bit and sort of like have it like that, and it was like it sounded weird. But it was shot here, but they were still like, it's Yorkshire, you know. So whenever they were doing like shots from further back, you could see like the fields and the deals, and then they're in the fucking NBC in Belfast. You're like,
Rihanna.
Yeah, but like I it's good though. It's good for actors to have the thing to do.
Do you ever see like when people give off about Mel Gibson's Scottish accent in Braveheart?
Yeah.
But when you hear it, you go, that sounds Scottish to me.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the better ones.
Yeah. No, but
it's not as bad as like Brad Pitt being like, I'm from a wee town near Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Like,
but then I also respect when people just go, nah, not doing it.
Yeah.
Like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
No, I have a brother.
Although, if you watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, there's definitely scenes the shot early on where he was trying to do it.
Yeah.
And
I
then
know.
he's like,
yeah. Like, what?
And he's like, you know what, fuck this, let's just go full bodyguard. And
yeah, but that's my favourite movie, I think.
It's weird again when you watch it back, it is shite.
Yeah.
Like it.
I can't.
But it's brilliant, don't get me wrong, I love it. But it is a bad movie.
Yeah, I could see that, but
it's still, I'll watch it every time it's on. I have it on DVD and I'll watch it. I probably watch it 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah,
I've only recently seen the version where like Alan Rickman gets to be Alan Rickman in it.
Yeah.
Where like the extra bits.
Oh yes.
Where he's full panto villain. It's fucking, it's 10 times better. Like.
But he's hilarious in it.
Yeah.
Do you
know the story behind it though was, so he saw the script, hated it, but was like the money's good. But he basically was like, I'm going to do it this way because this is so fucking stupid. And then it's the reason the movie worked. And Kevin Costner apparently was like, he's outshining me.
Yeah.
So we're cutting this scene. And like kind of fucked him over a little bit.
Yeah. See, Costner should have been more like old Costner.
Yeah.
Not that. But then what I also enjoy, Azim, what a character he was.
Amazing. Like.
And then like, what's that
Is
accent?
your face painted?
Yeah. I have fulfilled my vow, Christian. You're like, what?
I've seen it before with horses.
Yeah. The painted man. Like, Mortiana, she was scary.
She was scary.
Like, and then what I hated the most, scene where she gabs in the plate.
Aye.
And
it bubbles and all.
And you're like, you're stinking. But by the way, what impact that sword had on her.
I know.
Got her. Oh, what a film. What a good cameo.
Like, let's watch it together.
Yeah, we should do. You know what? I would love there to be a way to do more watch-alongs. I don't know whether do you do it on Patreon or do you do like is there a way? Because I love to do a watch-along of that. That'd be one. Another one I want to do with Tim McGarry is a Belfast story.
Is that the one where he gets shot?
Yes.
Yeah, please invite me to that.
Yes, it's tremendous, and I mean it's tremendous. It's one of those ones that's so bad you have to go. I like that. It's a classic. You know, it's a classic. But like I like this is the thing. Do you ever find with films from here you want them to be good, and then if they're shite, you go, that's just classic. It's like a cult classic.
I know.
You know.
Because I still haven't seen Belfast, the Kenneth Branagh one.
Near have I actually.
Just because it doesn't
sit right with me because it looks too like lighthearted. I like it to be real.
I like the gritty shit. Like
yeah.
Like I loved, and there was 2 of them out at the same time. But there's like 2 movies about Bloody Sunday, which is obviously a horrible fucking.
Yes.
But the one with Jimmy Nesbitt in it is a great movie. Like, it's so stressful to watch because it's shot like somebody's there with a fucking handheld camera. And it's one of those ones where you go, obviously it's so horrible that had to happen, but that is a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
Like, really impactful and that sort of stuff. And then you see other shit where you go, like, Battle of the Bone or whatever the fuck he was in.
No, but that was just bad. But then I found, right, Battle of the Bone, I was trying to find it somewhere, and I found it on YouTube, and it was like uploaded. It wasn't like a normal English speaking upload, it was like Japanese, and it had like hundreds of millions of views. It was
really
insane. Like, yeah, I'll have to find this, but like millions of views, maybe not hundreds of millions, but millions of views.
Yeah.
So now he goes to Japan, he's fucking killing it out there. But
what would that sound like, Dave? If say Shane got off a plane.
I have an illness in me that I want to do that so much, but I
know we do.
You know, I know, but I don't mean, like, this is the annoying thing. Like, I don't mean to be sly or mean to.
Yeah.
But
It'd just be a funny situation. I'm very
fun.
gassy with this, so if I start farting,
listen, work away. I mean, I've got.
Thank you.
I'm in the jobs. I'll
just vape
every day. But like, yeah, I hate you can't do accents and all anymore. It's bullshit. It's only joking. Like,
thing is, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always thought people our age, it's okay to do the accents, because really what we're doing is making fun of the older comedians who used to do those accents, right? And I have this wee hippie theory that comedians should be allowed to do those sorts of things, because most of the time the comedians are probably not making fun of the person, talking about the experience, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe what happened was, you know, like Jim Davidson would do an accent, and it's just the way the guy in the corner shop sounds, and then everybody in work starts picking on the Indian guy in work, and then that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And then recently I watched a video of Jim Davidson and Bobby Davro, and Bobby Davro has a Kim Jong-un puppet. And he's just being really fucking racist. Like, and I was like, it was my dad told me about it, and I thought, oh, this must be like a sketch from the 70s or something, and it was a year ago. And it's just Bobby Davro being like, you want to try Korean meatball? Very good, and a dog barracks. Like, and you're like, fucking hell. Is that what we look like when we do that shit?
Yeah, fine.
Do you know what I mean? Because we're in my head satirizing
those guys.
Yeah. But it looks sometimes like we're just doing the same thing, but we're not.
No, but then it's a bit of me also. A bit of me also thinks that people need to just. Some things are just funny.
Yeah,
you know.
There's also that.
And like sometimes if we're going to go, oh, that's not appropriate, and like, shut up.
Aye.
I mean, like, see if you're going out and you're doing like fucking Tommy Robinson hate speech and all. If you're just doing a wee, like, it's.
Yeah, I think most people know when you're joking though.
Yeah.
And again, I think there's like, it sounds like I was defending Jim Davidson. To be fair, when Jim Davidson would do accents and voices, it was racist. Like the stuff he was saying was like, there'd be racist jokes.
Yeah.
Whereas sounding like them.
Yeah.
Like them, sorry, like any groups is different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then like, what then makes it okay? Because we all know what.
Not doing the eyes.
Right, okay.
You can either do the voice or the wobbly head, but you can't do both at the same time.
Okay.
But then, if you're doing the Churchill dog, obviously.
But of course, yeah. But why?
Oh, yes.
Why? Yes, Churchill adverts. Sign up to it, eh? What a Guardian Jordan.
It's so bad too, because actual Churchill hated him. He massacred loads of them. That's really bad.
Which is what we're actually doing our bit.
Yeah, we're trying to highlight that.
We're trying to highlight that. Oh man,
never forget.
But that's the thing. Like, but then people be like, well, why? What? Like, so you get an addition through, like, Mickey, when you do a French accent,
aye,
you'd be like, "Well, Monsieur, fantastique," you know. But they're like, Mickey, we've an addition through for you. We need. Can you do Bangladesh? You're like, well, give it a go.
Aye, try it.
Yeah, but like,
call the Uber driver back. Can you come back a wee second?
But
read that and let me record it. Good man.
But there was
5 stars.
There was a guy who is white, and he's and again he's part of like an Arsenal YouTube channel,
right?
But like when the Monday, like he speaks like full, like,
yeah.
But like it's not, it's like full Jamaican, man. He's like, and you're going, what? And like he's probably like, this is about my family that's from there, man, and all. And you're like,
aye,
you shouldn't be talking like that. But then he's probably like, but that's where I'm from.
Yeah, well, there was that one. There was a girl who, like, her dad was a like white full Jamaican. So he would, that was just how he spoke day to day. And she was like, I know he looks like a fucking Weasley.
Yeah.
But he's more of a Marley.
But yeah, he looks Weasley, but he's Marley. But what I loved, I saw this, I don't know if you've seen it, was a kid whose parents had moved him to Japan or China, and he was Chinese, but he was born to two white parents.
Aye.
And this, I think I hear burst. It's so sick in my stomach going, this is so wrong. But this little white boy just fully Chinese, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, when did it come to point? Because obviously the clips doing the rounds now of Trey Parker doing the Kim Jong voice in the sound booth for Team America.
Yeah.
And
Or
you're
even
going,
the fucking
it's hilarious.
him doing the human centipede, where he's like a Japanese guy, like shitting on a 9-year-old boy's mouth.
He's going, oh yeah,
And he's doing the eyes too, like, okay,
yeah. But I mean, that is also funny.
I know. I think
You know, it's
it
like,
always just does boil down to the intent, really. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting serious about it. If you're like, I'm just doing a funny noise or
Yeah.
like an accent that I shouldn't be doing, we're
Yeah.
agreeing I shouldn't be doing this, and you're laughing at the fact that I'm doing it because I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I mean any of this stuff. It's
then-
different than being like,
Yeah.
don't fucking all Indians fucking
Yeah.
do this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. All right, but absolutely, the boats need to stop.
yeah.
You know, absolutely they do. Like, I'll be down there, but I nearly did another one.
But it's okay to do Polish accents, isn't it? Is it
Yeah.
okay to do Eastern European?
Yes,
So it does become a colour grade
Then,
then?
but what? Yeah, because what people would be like if you were doing like you could do Polish accent, but then if you cross over and it sort of becomes a bit more bastard. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, excuse me, you've a tan. And you're
Aye.
like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, but you know, I did an audition for a show last week or week before. It was like you had to send sketches in and stuff.
No, I heard
No.
you did a wee
Yeah.
thing. Well done.
I did a wee audition for that, but I did a character I made up myself called M.O.T.
Right.
And I'll show it to you after, but I thought it was really funny. Showed Catherine, she thought it was really funny, and she went, you know, no one's going to ever allow you to do that. And I was like, but it's funny to me.
Aye.
And she's like, maybe you can put that up, but I don't know if you could or not. Should you do more of that? And I was like, I don't know. See.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
It's some. Yeah.
But you know
So,
what, too? I also don't care a lot. You know what I mean? Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think of anything and go, I care about disliking people. You know, I don't at all.
I
Never think
have
of
a
it. It's
rule
just
where
fun.
if I annoy somebody, I go, sorry. Straight
Yeah.
away, I'll be like, oh, sorry. And if that person keeps like trying to tell me off, I go, I've already said sorry, so now it's on you.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
all that's going to come out of this is me saying sorry again.
Yeah.
So now you're on repeat, and you're just wasting both their times. So fuck off, fatso, I'll say. Or whatever. I was
Yeah.
going to say a racial slur, but slur?
Yeah. Sean Connery.
It's like when you get a bottle of fizzy juice at Christmas and it goes, nigga. I didn't finish saying it. Just in case anybody's...
Have you seen a clip of Theo Vaughn talking about his dad being Nicaraguan? And he goes, what's up, mate? And he basically says the first part of Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Chris D'Elia with him actually, so it's probably like
Aye.
that's at least the words of his clip. But I think he was like, I don't know if you can say that.
I would tell him at the time that I was doing a panel show for BBC and I was trying to talk about why I used to work in a clothes shop, and I would hang ladies' underwear, right? So I said I was a knicker hanger for a while, but I said it too quick, and they were like, cut. And I remember, like, if Jared Christmas was hosting, he goes, Mickey, you're going to have to say that again. And I went, why? And he goes, because it did sound like you said. And then he said it.
Yeah.
And nobody got, like, they're all like, did he just fucking say that? And then when he said it, no one was annoyed. I'm like, how does he get he actually said it on purpose.
Well, how did we get here? Old man.
I don't know, just old fat
white
fuckers,
guys
like,
go,
I know.
Oh,
Can't say anything anymore, folks. Sick.
but yeah, there we are. Any other cracking?
None at all, man.
By the way, you park really fucking shit. when you were
I
here.
didn't park shit. Dan
did?
parked
No,
shit, and then
no.
I thought he parked shit, and I parked straight. I didn't realize there was an etiquette to everyone parking at an angle.
He's
We're all
parked
sorted.
like a like you were doing the Red Arrow show.
Also, my new car is very hard to park.
because it's offensively big. It's fancy.
It's stupid. Like,
It is. Do you ever drive it and you go, the only thing I ever bought that I've gone, that's too much, was a pair of Adidas Predators when I was in school, and I was like, I didn't get to wear them and play rugby because of the bottoms and all that. They're like, they're not, you can't wear.
oh,
them
that
studs.
slices and no studs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like my coach was like, just buy a fucking pair of Deodora black ones with the fucking studs in it.
Aye.
You big fat shite, who you think you are? You know, and I was just looking, well, they are too far for me. But like, do you ever park a car and be like, listen, it's lovely, but it's
100%.
too much.
Like, it's when I look at how much it's cost me a month for insurance and all that shit, and then the amount of miles you do as a stand up, you're like, this car's worth 10 grand less than when I
Yeah.
bought it a month ago.
Yeah. Is that why you park? You're like, I need to get something out of it, just to fuck.
No, I just can't park it yet.
Yeah.
And it's like really annoying sensors, so it'll start beeping when you're miles away from anything. And then I start panicking, and I just...
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Sometimes cars make fucking noises, and that makes you uneasy.
Mine is this thing on. I don't know how to turn it off or what it is. It's called Audi Presense, right? Where every so often you'll be driving and it'll just go beep, and there'll be an exclamation mark. And it's like Audi Presense, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about though. And I'm looking at the screen instead of the road now.
And I'm stressed.
Like if I hit something that's your fault, and the car's going like, told you were going to hit something, and I'm like, no, I only hit it because you fucking started talking, bastard.
But that's interesting. See, ours, we like there's a like keeps you in the lane mode on
That's
cars.
dangerous. So Casey was telling me he had a car like that, right? But it's obviously they've made it somewhere in England and then brought the cars here, or they've made it somewhere in the middle of Europe, brought the cars here, and they're not fucking like
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but they're not tuned up to like Northern Irish roads. So Casey says like you'll be doing fucking 70 along the motorway, and then it'll pick up that there's a slip lane with a 30-mile-an-hour limit on it, and it'll just cut the engine down to 30. And he's like in the fast lane, all of a sudden doing 30 mile an hour.
Yeah. No, it's
just let us drive the cars, like.
Yeah, and like the only way to get around the wee thing that keeps you in the lane that I have, you have to indicate. You know,
really?
And then sometimes you're just on an empty road, like fuck me.
Mine is a.
And it'll break your wrist sometimes. And then sometimes you'll overcompensate, and then you could fucking.
Aye, mine has like automatic. The ignition, like it shuts off.
Yeah.
Shite, and I sometimes forget to turn the button off when I'm driving. So what happens sometimes is if I have to stop on a hill and like turn in, you're waiting for traffic to go past, you take your foot off the brake to go back in the accelerator, and it goes, oh, you stopping? And then just shuts off and the car starts rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
And you're like, where's your fucking beep now, cunt?
Yeah. Where's your fucking presense now?
Aye.
Yeah. But that's fucking...
But also I do, like, I love my, like, I love that car, like, because
it does look sweet, to be fair.
But to tell you why I bought it, like, so my girlfriend referred to my money as our money, and I was like, watch this.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity. And we went for a test drive.
Should you be able to hit your wife?
I don't have a wife.
That's a joke, by the way. Absolutely not.
That's how you dodge a bullet.
That was good. Yeah. Since we've covered everything else, may as well be misogynizers.
My misogyny, your misogyny. It's all our misogyny.
Misogyny, you. Oh. But so you just were like, you know what? I'm dumping it all in this car. Fuck yeah.
Well, no, I needed a new car too because the old one I had was just too small for like more than me. Like, but we went for a test drive and the guy went. My girlfriend was asking all the normal questions, responsible questions. How many miles per gallon? What's the insurance like? What's the tax like? And the guy went, it's a 3-liter V6. And I went, I don't know what that means, but I heard it on Top Gear. We're getting it.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking, I love it.
Yeah. See, because you drive, like you always have a decent drive to go to gigs.
Man, I've done 5,500 miles in a month. Well, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck, I just moved that thing.
Oh, you grand.
Right.
We're nearly wrapped anyway.
Happy days. So that like the wee Audi TT that I had, although I loved it, it was great crack to drive. My back was fucked after about.
And like it's low, isn't it? So do you have to like crawl out on the ground?
Man, there was times I was getting into that. I would like, you know, when you get ready for a gig, you're all like, fucking right. I've had a shower, I've had a shave, I'm all fucking, and then I'd get in the car and wreck my hair because I bumped it off the head or off the roof.
Yeah,
bumped it off the head. So yeah, and then there was like, I remember taking it in to get a bunch of stuff fixed with it, and I had to admit to myself that. Like the car itself was too weak because somebody adjusted my seats and I was like, I don't know how to drive this car now, but my sore back has gone. Yeah. So whatever way I was driving it, like my knees, I looked like a fucking gorilla in a go-kart.
Fucking Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, but it's one of those. Like I don't know anything about cars, but I do like them because I drive so much. Yeah. But the wee Audi TT was brilliant for like parking because you could you go like that and it's just already turned on a right angle, whereas that's like a fucking boat.
Yeah. It is long.
It's beefy, like.
But like that's one thing. Like I said, like if you know in life I've ever made what I would call success, you'll see me driving a smart car because I'll have bought a smart car for nipping about, you know, running wee errands.
Wee tiny smart cars.
One, just that. Yeah. That's when you'll know Dave's.
Where did they go? Remember they were all the rage for a wee while, like.
But then I realised that you could probably just fucking die in them real quick, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like, so there is much of a crumple zone.
Like, yeah, there's just the crumple zone is your face.
Do you remember remember BMW brought out that moped with a roof?
Yes.
And the whole idea of it was if you hit the brakes and it rolled, it would just roll right over. But 99% of accidents involving mopeds involve falling to the side. Yeah. So people were just falling off them and getting crumpled up inside it. Yeah. Like,
with no escape.
Imagine having to get cut out of a moped.
See, if I didn't start Manjaro, that would be my life. I'm trying to go to fucking Tesco. But no, it's bad. Like, and like, you know, you're old as well. Like, I was giving off about technology in the car the other day because there was no handbrake, and it was in Catherine's car. I needed to do. I guess I was trying to park on a hill, and you know, you sometimes use a handbrake, and I was like, fuck. And there's something to be said about a good old fashioned key. Just,
Man,
you know,
I like same with that car. There's times where I'm like, because it's the wee button handbrake thing, but there's also a parking brake, and I don't really know what the difference is. So
but just do a wee finger up on it.
Yeah, but sometimes I was like, should I hit the parking brake or that one? I was at a drive-through and I hit the parking brake, and then I was like, oh, I don't know how to get this back into moving forward mode.
Yeah.
So I was like, just like I looked like I was really impatient for my nuggies, which is the Kanye's new album. Yeah. Impatient for my nuggies.
By the way, say you want about Kanye's new song. It's definitely a bop.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
Is that the one about sucking his cousin's dick?
No, it's one about Hitler.
Oh, he's got a song with Hitler? Yeah. Fucking hell, it's hard to make anything rhyme with Hitler too.
Yeah, no, he does. Littler.
Oh yeah. Good point.
That. But I mean, it's an interesting song. You can't download it anywhere, obviously, because it's vile.
Aye.
But you know what? Say what you want. Kanye may or may not have questionable views. The man can drop a track.
Oh man, do you know what my favourite Kanye West moment of all time was? Do you remember when he was on? Was it Saturday Night Live with Mike Myers?
Mike Myers, yeah.
when he's like, George Bush is dropping bombs on children, and like comes out with this. Which, I mean, it was a true political fucking statement, and you just see Austin Powers go, "Fuck me."
He's like, you don't
Shrek scundered.
Like for Haiti, he's like, I need to support the people of Haiti, and just got the guy, George Bush hates black people.
That's what it
he's
was.
Like, wow.
He's like, Mike Myers is like, behave.
Yeah. Oh, behave. But you know a comedian's going, oh fuck, it's too far. And then I think it cut back to somebody's like, well.
I personally, the best thing to have done would be go,
yeah. Yeah, what is this guy like? But then Bush would come for you. What a character he was. People wish he was still president now.
It's weird when I was listening to like an old Billy Connolly fucking thing the other day, and he was talking about George Bush, and I just had this like moment of, do you remember when nobody really gave a fuck about who the president was?
Yeah.
Because they were going to fuck it up anyway.
Yeah. But I think
now it's like terrifying.
Yeah, it is. But I also think we need to just go, let's just ignore politics a wee bit. Makes you sad, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've had this wee thought of like the left are run about the left. Like I would consider myself a lefty liberal person, but the lefty liberal people are like, the fucking government are lying to you, and then the right extremist people are like, the government are fucking lying to you. I'm like, well, why are you fighting each other? Yeah. Which is not made up and go, what did they lie to you about? Yeah. And then you go, oh, they're lying to us with the same shit. But why do we eat a couple of billionaires, spread the money about, world hunger's gone? Yeah, but then everybody gets a Tesla. Well, not a Tesla. But surely everybody looks at it and goes, they're baddies, surely. Yeah. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and people are like, no. Like, in a normal society, surely the billionaires don't need all that money. They don't. They should be taxed. Yeah, 100%. But it's because it's the subservient nature of the middle class working. They're the ones that's easier to tax and easier to do that. Yeah. Because they're all, oh, sorry, yes, I'll go and work harder. I'll pay my money. You're lucky to have a job. Yeah, like, exactly. And it's I think there's a thing as well. A lot of people, I think, think they're going to be a millionaire at some point. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody still does the lottery. Everybody says, see when I'm rich, I'm rich. Like, that gets into people's psyche because, especially the way billionaires go on publicity tours. Yeah. Like, when Elon Musk's on podcasts and fucking Zuckerberg's on, and you're like... But seeing someone like Elon Musk makes people think you can be because he comes across as a fucking idiot. Yeah. And you're like, well, if he can do it. Yeah, 100%. Clearly he's not. Clearly he's just seriously autistic. Like he's not racist. Yeah, pretty racist. Yeah. No, but I mean, he's South Africa. That's their vibe, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. Like, Kel Surprise. Yeah. The South African fucking autistic person is looking at races like they're numbers. Yeah. You surprised? No. But I mean, I just like, you know what? I was listening to a podcast today about like mindset and sorting out your life. And it was like, oh, the thing I need help with is managing my finances. That's what I need to. Yeah. And they're like, just do it today, sort stuff. And I'm like, fucking need to start thinking about a private pension. I need to start like, oh man, shit, I'm starting to worry about too when getting older. It's fucking, it's mental because like I have an accountant who's great, but he's very traditional. So he goes, just bring me all your expenses, bring me your bank statements, and I'll figure it out. Whereas like I think I need to know a wee bit more going on rather than coming to the end of the year and highlighting all the ins and outs and then like having all your receipts and all that stuff. I'm like, I need to maybe like
get a fucking checklist. And
I know that I'm trying to rent a house at the minute. I'm trying to move out of the flat that I'm in and rent a house. And when I send my bank statements to any letting agent, they're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I promise you there is money somewhere. I don't know where it is either, but there's some. It's I think I thought the other day I need to start saving for a pension, and then my other thought was, let's face it, I'm a comedian. I'll be doing cruise ships. Like I'll just never. Yeah. I'll just do stand up until I die. Like
you said too, just die early. Just fucking. You don't need a pension if you're popping your clothes and you're 70. You know.
Plus, you can still get a state pension and do the odd gig, like.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that fucking pissed me off though, is the kids. You know, they're like.
Yeah, I'm saying that without a wife and kids.
They're like, you need to leave something for the kids. I'm like, they're fucking taking an hour and a half.
You told me my man and dad a couple of years ago found out that my dad had a second pension he didn't know about.
Love that.
Got a big lump sum and bought a caravan, and I was like, "She's leaving me nothing." Yeah. And my mom was like, "Yeah." My mum said to me one time, she goes, "When we die, you know, your sister's getting the house because you'd only sell it." And I was like, "You're hoarding in the afterlife," and she went, "Yes." Yes. I was like, "Oh, that's right, cool."
Yeah, but that's what they're like. Like that's why more and more recently, my parents are going on more and more holidays, and I'm starting to now go, "You're not afraid of those guys.
You're not going ahead.
Fucking maybe just one holiday a month at this point would be enough." You know, like I was fucking seriously, guys, and they're like, "Fuck you," and then my dad started saying, "Well, you can't take it with us." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
But you can leave it behind you.
I know you can. That's kind of what's worrying me. No, but they are very good to us. Like, but and then my sister I think she has this dream in her mind that she's going to move into my mum and dad's house, and I think that would be weird. You know, because like she lives in London.
My sister said to me, "So what'll happen is mum and dad are dead," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "No, hypothetically." It's like mum and dad die. Me and my family are going to move into mum and dad's house. We're going to sell the house we live in and give you like money from it. Yeah. And I'm like, what? And she's like, or you move into our house. And I'm like, do I get to pick what I do in my own life? Like my sister's looking at me obviously being like, well, you're never going to fucking procreate, so somebody's going to have to look after you, you fat alcoholic cunt. It's going to be me, so I'll tell you where to go. And I'm like, thank you. I put my stuff here.
But you need that. You need that. Like, if I had no Catherine, I fucking know what I do. I know nothing about them.
Aye.
I was thinking about today, like, what happens if like my mum and dad die? Am I going to have to like
bury them? The amount of times I've thought about that where I'm like, I know it sounds. I'm like, it'd be better for everybody if my dad dies first, because my ma could organise the funeral.
I think, I agree.
And we'd learn from that one. Yeah. If my ma died first, we'd be like, where does she keep the sugar?
Yeah. No, like I think a lot of people, like I think if my mum dies first, we're fucked. Yeah. Because I have an extra child. I've looked after my dad.
I reckon if my ma dies first, I'm just going to shoot my dad. Because he'll end up hurting himself, and then like trying to wash it, trying to load a dishwasher, he'll end up being like, I'm bleeding internally.
But like, I fuck knows what my dad's going to do. But can't do anything in the house.
But I want that. Like, that's something that, again, it's a great thing, brilliant thing. But how fucking jealous are men of our age of the previous generations of, like, you didn't have to do a fucking thing in this house. You worked fucking... My dad doesn't have his own bank card, never has. Basically, my mum gives him pocket money and gets pissed all weekend. And then goes back to work, and I'm like, what a life.
But, like... My dad's one chore in the house was to cut the grass. Aye. So I think he's got artificial grass now, and he's like completely fucking you know, and he's like,
loophole.
And he was like, God love him. He came around to me, so he goes, he just rang me, and I picked up, and he goes, it's fucked. And I went, what's fucked? And he goes, fucking on you, fucking bastard Fitbit, and it's fucking fucked. No, I was like, okay, do you want to bring it down for me? Look at it. He goes, tried everything, nothing's fucking working. No. He brought it around, and I said, so what have you tried? And he goes, fucking syncing it to my phone. And he goes, is your Bluetooth on? And he goes, no. And I said, boop, connect straight away. And then he comes around the next day, same sort of thing, except he didn't go for the it's fucked approach. He goes, I got this new bastard phone, I fucking can't do. I said, so have you done the thing? He goes, all the wee fucking things swinging around and all, and I took the photo, and you're supposed to leave it for 4 hours to move across. And I was like, when'd you get it? And he goes, a couple of hours ago. Oh, why is it here then? He was like, what do you mean? It was not gone on over, and I was like, yeah, just fucking leave it for 4 hours. 4 hours and he goes, fuck, alright. But he's fucking funny, like. But and then like even doing stuff around the house, like I would be like cutting my bushes and did some stuff in the garden. He goes, why are you doing that? And he goes, because it needs done. I was like, you not got a fella to do it? He goes, yeah, never fucking pay the bastard. Aye. Now, like modern day wages, you can't.
I don't. Nobody can afford anything. He says, like.
No, fuck me. Bring back the good old days.
I know there's things. I remember one time my ma bought this thing for our kitchen, and it was like a load of shells, like like ornament, like for putting fucking.
Yeah.
There's no crystal glass we got for
Yeah.
Waterford crystal we got for the wedding, all that sort of stuff. And it's set in our kitchen, Dave. I swear to God, for about a year and a half. And my dad put it up as an anniversary present. There you go, love. And she was like, he put it up. He put it on me later.
He's so chuffed with himself.
Aye, but she was chuffing him.
Yeah.
Like my dad once sent my man an anniversary card that said "Tu Faso from Handsome," and she was like, "He's a rascal." And then another year, an anniversary card where he didn't write anything inside it. And Mum went, "Why didn't you write anything inside?" He goes, "Well, who'd you think it was fucking from?" She was like, "See him, he's a fucking." I said this on stage today, right? My girlfriend, there was one night, she was like, "Would you first come over here to fucking see me to visit?" Like. She had a bath one night in the flat, and I was making dinner. So I was like, "Oh, you have a bath? I'll get dinner started." And then I was having like fucking wee glass of wine, like when I'm making dinner. So by the time she got out of the bath, I was like a wee bit pissed. Yeah. And she was like, "You're such just a free spirit." And right. The other day, I'm making dinner. She went into the bathroom, came out, and went, "You're a fucking alcoholic." I'm like, "Things fucking changed."
It's all context, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, I can't have a bottle of whiskey and she only went for a shite.
Oh, but it's good times.
Have you had much, like, how long were you with Catherine again?
8 years.
Like, you must have, Joe, and you go, "Oh, that's the honeymoon done."
Yeah.
And it just becomes like a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, you just sit on the couch and do all the wee things you used to make your fucking partner laugh about. You're so silly and funny or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, you do something and she's like, "Can you just stop talking?"
Yeah. You really did my head on. Yeah, like, I remember the first time, like, she farted in bed. She's looking at me and we're just, she's like, he's like, man, she's pregnant by that point. She's too fucking late. I was like, I know, it's like, I didn't. But then, no, she'll do we think, like, you'll have your own wee habits and then you'll do them. She'll be like, "Can you stop doing that?" And like, one day she'd go at me, she goes, You're always fucking asking me if I'm okay. Fucking course I'm okay. If I'm not okay, I'll let you know. I was like, sorry. Okay. And then I was like, "Well, are you?" She goes, "Fuck off!" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." But like now, I think you just get used to like things. Because I've always had like a thing for people's eating noises. Like it just fucking it would be the thing that would make me headbutt a wall till my brain exploded.
If someone's going like,
yeah, and it's like, and it's the breathing out the nose when they're eating.
Do you know what gets me? See if people are eating dinner and they're talking. First of all, that annoys me. I'm like, we can talk after this, but see when someone starts pointing their fork when they're talking with someone they're eating, I'm like, get the fork out of my face.
No, but then when you know, like that was the thing. I've always had that. So whenever Catherine moved in, she eats perfectly mannerly and fine, but it's just the noise. Even if I'm eating by myself, it'll do my head in, the noises of just like squelching and now I can obviously get past it because I'm a fat bastard, but there's some times where I'm like, I don't like, so I like have sound on the background, whether it's like a fan in the cooker, like the TV, or I'll play something on the phone, which they like, and then like she's just sweet with that. Yeah. But like I'm sure there's things like I'll do like, the night. What I will say, and I'll call her out in this, is she'll be like, if I shave, now I always try to clean up. Yeah. After it, and now there maybe be a hair or two. She goes, you fucking stay down there. And like this would be me having pulled the plug out of the shower and pulled fucking cousin it out of the fucking sewers about 4 times a week. And I'd be like, I'm like covered in fucking your hair, conditioner, my jizz, all this, and fucking clumped into it. And you have the audacity. Like, Papa. Yeah. It's like, oh no! You know, skin to skin.
Pull the thing out of the plug and going, "Kill me, kill me."
But then she'll go me, and I'll just go. And you know, you have that thing. I'll just keep that in my head. And do you ever have that thing? You're like, you know what? Now you have this internal monologue. Now's not time to say that. And then by the time you've just said it, you go, fuck. You know, fuck.
And then it saves up.
Yeah.
You're like.
And then I said something back there, and she somehow, I don't know if this is gaslighting from her or not, but she was like, "Oh, I'd love, what was it she wanted? Oh, I'd love a wee like stir fry or something for my dinner, but I'm in my PJs." I was like, "Fucking get changed and go get them." She's like, "No, but my bra's off."
Oh, but that's, man, you like once the bra's off, it's not going back on. No. Because watching a woman put a bra on is such a fucking awful experience. Yeah.
It ruins
and
boobs for
it
you.
ruins
doesn't it?
boobs.
Yeah.
And every relationship I've been in, the sound a woman makes when she takes her bra off
Yeah.
is like.
Joy.
I used to go out with this girl that would take her bra off, and I've had the same thing with jeans that are too tight. Where like she would take her bra off and like had to like scratch her tits, and I'm like, I've done that under my gunt. Like I get out of a car after a long drive, and I'm like, oh fucking hell, because it cut the blood flow off. Like, so yeah, once the bra's off, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
do you know what I mean?
But then my thought is, you only just did that. You would have wanted this before. You could have gone. But like, I think when it gets to a certain time, and I don't know if she's like a vampire, she'll just not leave the house,
But
and I have to do everything. And
see,
is it a hunter-gatherer thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm on her side in certain because you see, for me, after 5 o'clock, right? In fact, after 3:30, I can't do anything productive. I still work on a school timetable, so I'm like after 3:30, I'm like down tools. Doesn't matter what it is.
Watch round the twist.
I have to, have to send one email 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Like we're down, and I don't start work at 8 most nights.
Yeah.
So I have to fuck all day. Go can't do it now. 3:30.
Yeah, but I've just been the guy that loves to be in the house. Like if I could not leave the house ever, I'd be happy. You know.
Aye.
I've been a fan. I've discovered to do a new thing now. We're in the range, which used to be home base, RIP home base. But I was walking around the range, I hadn't realised, but the hands were interlocked behind the back, just wandering around. She's like, "You do that now." I walk around like an old man, and I'd be like, and I'll just find myself assuming the position to just go around and look at things. And
I haven't gotten that far yet, but I have caught myself looking at barbecues and being like,
oh, mate, I made the dick move.
but I don't have a garden. I live in a flat, so I don't know. It must be just instinctive.
I think so. I think it is. Because you know what? I think if someone were to say, what was the happiest time of your life? I think being at my grill during COVID, drinking a cider, just cooking meat, silence, birds in the sky.
Aye.
Loved it. But then my grill passed away.
Why is there women flying about in the sky?
Yeah. I wish. But I'd love to be shit on me.
Jesus Christ.
But
They're just going, you're fat.
come on. Andrew Taylor's right, you cunt. But then my fucking barbecue broke, and I was like a bucket and a skip, and I went, we'll be alright, because last summer was fucking soaking. And I was like, right, we'll be alright. But I'm not going to, I refuse to buy a barbecue now. I'll wait till summer's over and I'll get in. But see, now I'm like, oh, I should have fucking barbecue. And I'm going, to buy a barbecue, then not.
Because my man have a nice garden, I'll, in the family WhatsApp, we'll be like, barbecue. Yeah. But my dad gets like, no, because I think my mum and dad end up fighting over barbecues because they're in their 60s, so they eat their dinner at 2:30 in the afternoon. So they'll become this thing where mum's like, is that ready? And I'm starving. I am starving. And he's like, because he's trying to cook for 3 people and it's not a tin of chicken curry. He's like, will you fuck up? Like, it gets too aggressive. And then if I do it, because they don't like the way I cook meat, which is properly. Yeah. Like, so it tastes nice and stuff.
Say, like a tartar. And you're like,
man, no, like my dad will hammer a steak.
Until it's a belt?
Until it's a belt, and then overcook it. So you're like, it's like jerky.
But that was the way you used to do it.
That was the way you used to do it.
That was my granny.
friend's steak. Do you mean not the way it's supposed to be done?
No,
I mean,
delicious succulent. But there's probably too, like, they don't leave a steak, they just set. You decide, like, I'll do right.
Have you seen Matthew McConaughey talking about cooking steaks on a podcast? I swear to God, it's you'll question your own sexuality. Yeah. And you'll stop taking one jar. Yeah. He's like, you gotta leave that son of a bitch to rest for as long as you cooked it for. And you're like, Matthew, tell me more. Yeah. He's a good man. He's a very good man. Like, and short arms too. I think it's short arms. Short arms. Just like us. Just like me, you've short legs, I'm short arms. I have short legs, yeah. What did Catherine calls it, like a dwarf or something, if you combine the two of us? Thalidomide man? Thalidomide man. Yeah, that was what your wife said. Thalidomide man, yeah. It's nice. But I don't realise. Reach for the stars. Can't. No. I saw the pictures of me, and like, these are just normal shorts, but they're like 3/4 lengths of me. It's not good look. But now I'm hungry now, so we're going to wrap this up. I know, it's my belly under my belt, because I'm sitting here too long. Yeah, I'm going to go home, get my kids, and fucking make my dinner, yeah. Mate, it's good to see you. It's good to see you too, sir. Do you have a tour to promote, actually, before we go? Yeah. Ticket sales in the fucking... MickyBartlett.com for tickets. There's more shows going on sale soon as well, so fucking keep give us one exclusive. Tell us somewhere you're going. 20th of February, I'm going to be in St. Colm's Hall in Derry. There you go. And that'll be on sale in the next couple of days. That's a nice wee room too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Big old room, actually. Yeah. And there's a few more. Nice. Follow me, you find out. Cheers. See you later.
I'm the sly guy.